do certain things to get to a certain place. And I mean ethical things, not baby oil things, not crazy things, but we had to really believe in ourselves and do ethical things to be here.
So he didn't reply. You know, after that working for him, you know, Puff, you think he'd have mastered everything.
Although the world knows Fonzworth Bentley as Diddy's former personal assistant who would walk around holding umbrellas, Fonzworth has dirt on his hands too that could turn his world upside down if he's exposed, according to former Bad Boy associate.
He don't want to say anything against Puff anyway because Puff got shit on him. And I ain't talking about no true shit, none of that shit. The nigga was stealing, bro. Yo, bruh, the niggas are, I don't want to put that on sticky fingers. That nigga right there, bruh, don't lay nothing down around him.
All right, let's get into it. Because something shady's going on with Diddy's so-called umbrella man, aka Fonzworth Bentley, and he's been way too silent lately. Ever since the whole Diddy scandal exploded like fireworks on the 4th of July, Fonzworth has practically disappeared. But don't get it twisted, he wasn't just out here looking clean in suits and holding umbrellas. Whispers been floating for years that Fonzworth was playing a whole different role behind the curtain. And now, those whispers turning into full-blown alarms thanks to Cassie's court documents, explosive testimonies, and the side-eye comments coming from Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal. It's like the internet detectives grabbed a flashlight and started digging, and what they're finding ain't looking good.
I watched this man disrespect you every chance he got, talk to you like his bitch.
I think Fonz was his little girlfriend at one time, because you have to see how they was conducting themselves.
To turn the heat all the way up, Mase and Cameron just dropped a bomb on their podcast. They didn't hold back. They threw some heavy hints that Fonzworth wasn't just Diddy's sidekick. They made it sound like he was knee-deep in that freak-off lifestyle. The kind of stuff nobody's supposed to say out loud. So now we gotta ask, was Fonzworth really just a stylish assistant with an umbrella and a bow tie? Or was he caught up in something way darker behind the velvet ropes? Let's break this down and get to the truth.
Watching the P. Diddy trial, and the Punisher came in there yesterday. Was he running around Bad Boy back in the days, murder? Ain't the Punisher? Who was the Punisher? Was he security inside back in Who's the Punisher? The male prostitute?
Yeah, I never met him.
I ain't know if that was somebody changing their identity up. Bentley or one of them say you ain't Mr. Bentley no more, you the Punisher.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
That was super wild.
Yeah, you don't know niggas.
Ooh, child.
Ever since the Diddy scandal blew up like a grenade in Hollywood, fans been giving Fonzworth Bentley the side eye. Hard. Folks can't help but wonder what really went down behind those luxury mansion doors between Diddy and his so-called assistant. Cause let's be real, Industry Insight has been dropping little breadcrumbs for years, hinting that Fonzworth was doing a whole lot more than holding umbrellas and picking out suits.
His name ain't Busta Rhymes.
Who gave you the nickname?
Tony De Niro. Actually, Puff's boy did.
Now here's where it gets even wilder. Mase and Cameron just stirred the pot with some straight up spicy chatter on their podcast. At first, it sounded like harmless jokes, but when you mix in the old whispers that Fonzworth was more like Diddy's kept man than just his assistant, the vibe gets real suspicious real quick. So they're talking about this male adult worker who came forward in the Diddy case. Dude went by the name Punisher. Yeah, wild already. Mase and Cam were laughing it up over the name, but then Cam dropped a curveball. He joked, what if Fonzworth had a code name too? One of those names, you know what kind. And Mase, he didn't even laugh it off. He just gave that slick smirk and said, you never know what that looked.
Next thing you know, I just picked up the page. You remember the guy that traveled from Howard University to intern with Andre Harrell? I'm that guy in 2001. Please don't make me go back to work on Monday at the restaurant. He replied, come to 1396 3rd Avenue. I literally started that day training as his assistant. The rest is history.
Now fans are saying it loud. Mase might have just low-key confirmed what folks been suspecting for years, that Fonzworth Bentley wasn't just some umbrella-carrying fashion icon. He might have seen, and maybe even done, way more than what the bad boy job description ever said. And when you look at how quiet he's been during Diddy's whole public unraveling, it starts to make sense.
Hey, what up?
I went to sleep. When I woke up, the whole house was clean, just like I asked for it to be. But I got a note right here from Babs.
She broke out and went to Brooklyn. It's taking you entirely too long to tell the story. This is your problem now. Good luck to you. When I get there, everything better be on point.
Let's rewind for a second. Bentley didn't just fall out the sky and land beside Diddy. Nah, his entrance was timed too perfectly. Back in 2001, Diddy, still calling himself Puff Daddy, had just skated past some major heat. We're talking gun charges and bribery linked to that infamous 1999 nightclub situation. The courtroom let him walk, but the media tore him apart. His whole image was in flames. So what did Diddy do? He pulled out the PR playbook, new name, new persona, fresh start. He dropped Puff Daddy and stepped out as P. Diddy. Clean cut, reformed, and polished. And right on cue, in comes Fonzworth Bentley, looking like a GQ ad holding a white umbrella, never a wrinkle out of place. Paparazzi caught them strutting through Saint-Tropez like kings. But it wasn't just the umbrella that caught people's eye, it was the whole vibe. Diddy needed to clean up, and Fonzworth was the final touch to sell that new image. That mystery man under the white umbrella? Yep, that was Fonzworth Bentley. And just like that, he became the face of Diddy's slick rebrand. But even back then, fans couldn't help but side-eye the whole setup. That now iconic photo of Bentley holding Diddy's umbrella while he strutted through the spotlight, it had people talking. Some laughed, sure, but others, they felt straight up uncomfortable. Folks said Diddy wasn't just walking with a personal assistant, he was parading Bentley like a status symbol, or worse, like a servant in a designer suit. And the energy? It didn't sit right with everybody. Eventually, Fonzworth couldn't ignore the noise. He hit up Angela Yee's radio show and tried to clear the air. First off, we found out his real name, Derek Watkins. And that polished, high society Fonzworth Bentley character, that wasn't even his idea. According to him, the whole persona was cooked up by Diddy's circle, especially a guy named Tony De Niro. Bentley said he had just moved up from Atlanta to NYC, grinding hard and looking for any shot at the big leagues. Then one night, he spotted Diddy in the club and made his move. Walked right up and tried to pitch himself. Diddy curved him at first, but Bentley wasn't taking no for an answer. He kept blowing up Diddy's phone, texting nonstop, practically begging just for a chance to prove himself. And just like that, the Umbrella Man was born. But here's the real question. Was Fonzworth Bentley just a fly-looking assistant, or was there something else going on behind the scenes?
Making really good money in the restaurant business.
That
actually.
good though? That's a
like $100,000. Yeah,
Shit.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that is pretty
for New
good.
York. Yeah.
And back then too.
It's 98. Like that's a lot of money.
Wow, I'd have stayed.
Yeah, 90, 100. Like I was doing well. So and
Diddy wasn't paying that much.
Yeah, no way.
At all. Not initially, but you get in, you get your hustle, and then you get it in. But
once Diddy brought him on officially, Bentley started showing up on Diddy's MTV show, Making the Band, and that's when things really started feeling off for a lot of fans. What was supposed to be a high-profile assistant role started looking more like something out of a power trip. The dynamic between them had people straight up uncomfortable. Fonzworth wasn't just running errands, he was getting snapped at, talked down to, and sometimes even straight up humiliated on camera. The energy didn't feel like boss and assistant. It felt more like control and submission, and the cameras caught it all. But here's where it gets extra shady. Try looking for full episodes of Making the Band today. Go ahead. We'll wait. They're basically gone. MTV never dropped them on streaming, they're not airing reruns, and it's like the show vanished into thin air. Why would they erase it all? Maybe because of what those episodes really showed. There's still a few clips floating around online though, and one in particular has fans shook. Diddy on the phone, literally threatening Fonzworth. Fans who watched Making the Band when it first dropped still remember just how off the whole vibe was between Diddy and Fonzworth Bentley. People been saying for years, you could see the disrespect right there on camera. Diddy barking orders, clowning him in front of the crew, and just straight up talking down to him like he was nothing. It wasn't playful, it felt like power flex after power flex, and fans picked up on it quick. But then there's the money situation, and that's where things get even more suspicious. Fonzworth told Angela Yee that Diddy wasn't even paying him at first. Yeah, for real. He said he was just doing it for the opportunity, but then he tried to soften it later, saying Diddy eventually started paying once he moved up. Moved up doing what exactly? Because on paper, Fonzworth's job title didn't really change. He was always labeled as Diddy's assistant. So why the sudden salary boost? That's got fans speculating real hard, like maybe Fonzworth started doing more than just scheduling meetings and holding umbrellas. Especially when you factor in the talk about Diddy's so-called freak-off sessions.
Fonzworth actually is down here in Atlanta. He's married with like 2 kids. He just lives a quiet life.
Yeah, he should. He should. He ain't say nothing about me either. Because he know I know his business.
You know his business.
I know his business.
And this whole Fonzworth Bentley theory really caught fire after Cassie's lawsuit dropped, because what she claimed in those court docs was wild. According to her, Diddy had certain assistants who helped set up private encounters with male adult workers, and it wasn't just booking rooms, they were out here prepping hotel suites with baby oil and Astroglide like it was a production set. That's when things went from suspicious to straight up scandalous, but hold up, it gets even messier. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, recently spoke out and claimed that Cassie's lawsuit was heavily redacted. According to him, the public didn't even get to see the real dirt. And if that's what made it into court, imagine what got scrubbed. Then an old interview with Gene started circulating again, where he didn't hold back. He said he knows all of Fonzworth Bentley's business. And the way he said it, real shady, real knowing. It left folks wondering just how deep Bentley was in all of this. And Gene wasn't done. On a fresh appearance on The Art of Dialogue, he threw out another grenade. He said, don't expect Fonzworth to ever take the witness stand. Why? Because allegedly, Bentley's hands ain't clean either. Gene claimed Bentley used to be out here doing the most, including allegedly stealing anything he could snatch while working with Diddy. But hold up, it gets even wilder. Over the years, there's been all kinds of hush-hush gossip floating around that Fonzworth Bentley wasn't just Diddy's umbrella man. He might have been playing the exact same role as Punisher, the male worker mentioned in those recent court docs. Yeah, that role. The paid company brought in during those so-called freak-off sessions.
I don't know how much he could do. I don't know if he would say anything, because he probably signed an ND, a non-disclosure, and he don't want to say anything against Puff anyway, because Puff got shit on him. And I ain't talking about no sexual shit, none of that shit. The nigga was stealing, bro. Yo, bro. The niggas I don't want to put that on sticky fingers. That nigga right there, bro, don't lay nothing down around him. You heard me? Don't lay nothing down around dude right there. Dog, Jennifer Lopez had these boots, they cost $5,000. I'm like, what kind of fucking boots cost $5,000? Now you gotta realize, this is like in 2000, early 2000. These boots cost $5,000. And because she was gonna be out of the country or something like that, she didn't have them come to her house down in the village, because she would have never got it, because they'd be stealing her stuff down there at her apartment. So she had them come to Puff house. She wanted these boots so bad, she was mad. They looked through everything trying to find Jennifer boots. Cause Puff had like Puff, people used to just give him shit and send him shit from everywhere. So he had this room, this mail room in his house with numbers just that he never even opened. But I don't know how Fonzworth Bentley found that shit. But we went over there to his house and we found a lot of Jennifer shit and everybody else's shit that belonged to Puff. I guess Puff had too much stuff in the room and he was just keeping them for it.
And you seen this with your own eyes? That's crazy, man.
My own eyes, bro. We went to his apartment.
He don't even seem like that type of dude, yo, but damn.
Security else, we went over there, man. They had to do shit, bro. And that's why Puff had stopped messing with him. And then he goes get a show. Puff ain't say nothing. He went and got a show of how to be teaching thugs how to be the gentleman. I hope the first thing he taught them was don't steal.
And here's where the rabbit hole goes even darker. Remember that old rumor about Diddy breaking Kim Porter's nose during an argument on a yacht? Well, guess what? Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal claims that whole blow-up happened after Kim caught Diddy with a man. Yep, not just a regular argument. Gene said Kim walked in on something way more explosive. And here's where things start lining up. That fight happened in 2005. There's an actual article from back then, August 2005, that confirms Kim ended up with a broken nose after a blowout on Diddy's yacht in St. Tropez. Now guess who was still rolling with Diddy heavy at that exact time? Fonzworth Bentley. Bentley was by Diddy's side at all those flashy European trips, Saint-Tropez, St. Barth, the whole lifestyle. That's why fans been whispering that maybe, just maybe, Kim didn't just catch Diddy with any man, she might have caught him mid-session with Fonzworth himself. But right around that same era, when things were getting messier than ever, Fonzworth Bentley started carving his own lane in the music game. And believe it or not, it was Kanye West who threw him the alley-oop. Fonzworth popped up in multiple Outkast videos and even made a flashy cameo in Kanye's The New Workout Plan video. He was in the mix with the biggest names. Fast forward to 2013. Kanye brought Fonzworth into the studio to help with the Yeezus album. Not only did Bentley land official songwriting credits, but a few years later, he also helped produce the powerful track Ultralight Beam on Kanye's 2016 album, The Life of Pablo. So yeah, he wasn't just holding umbrellas anymore, he was in the booth making moves. But here's the crazy part. While all that was happening, insiders say Fonzworth was allegedly stealing from Diddy behind the scenes. Yup, you read that right. Word is, that betrayal blew their whole friendship to pieces. And just like that, Bentley's chapter with Diddy came to a screeching halt. After that fallout, Fonzworth packed up and moved back to Atlanta. He married a woman named Fawn Chambers, started a quiet family life, and had 2 kids. Picture perfect, right? But industry insiders been hinting there's a reason he chose Atlanta of all places to settle down. And if you know, you know. Since then, Fonzworth has stayed radio silent about all the Diddy madness. Not a word, not a whisper. Fans assumed he'd never speak on it again, until rumors started bubbling last year. Word on the street, Fonzworth might be working on a tell-all book ready to spill every last secret from his time with Diddy. Back in February 2024, Media Takeout reported that Fonzworth Bentley might finally be ready to break his silence. And not long after, he posted a cryptic message on Instagram that had everybody raising eyebrows. He quoted Jay-Z's Grammy speech, "When I get nervous, I tell the truth." Then added, "Might delete later, but I'm gonna just sit this here." That's not just a caption, that's a warning shot. But here's the twist. He dropped that message before the Diddy case blew up into a full-blown federal investigation, and before Homeland Security raided Diddy's homes coast to coast. After that, Fonzworth ghosted. He hasn't said a single word about the case since. No interviews, no posts, nothing. So now everybody's wondering, why? Is Fonzworth laying low because of those stealing allegations Gene Deal mentioned? Or is it something even darker? Like, maybe he's keeping quiet because he knows he could be seen or even caught in one of those confiscated tapes the feds scooped during the raids at Diddy's spots. Could he be protecting himself or protecting someone else? Drop your wildest theories in the comments. We want to hear it all. And if you're locked into this rabbit hole with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss an update. Hit that next video now because trust, it only gets crazier from here. See you on the next one.